Next, Arsha Chikitsa, Charaka Chikitsa Sthana, 14th chapter. So, based on the questions of Agnivesha, Acharya Charaka is explaining details about Arshas and its treatment. So, two types of Arshas, they are Sahaja Arshas and Uttarakalaja Arshas. Sahaja Arshas, which arises because of the genetical defect or because of the Bija Dushti or Bija Bhaga, which forms the Gudavali. Gudavalis are Pravahini, Visarjini, Samvarini. So three Gudavalis are there. So the Bija, part of the Bija, part of the genetic content, which is abnormal, which in future will develop the Gudavali. So if that Gudavali is abnormally developed because of the Bija dosha, then it results in Arshas. So Jataja Arshas or Sahaja Arshas. So they are called as Sahaja Arshas. Whereas the Sahaja Arshas is caused because of the two factors again, that is Mata Pitror Ahara Apachara. So Apachara, Pitror Apachara. Genetic maternal factor, genetic paternal factor. Arshas is also called as Adimamsa Vikara because Mamsa is involved or Mamsa Ankura will be developed in this Arshas. So hence it is called as Adimamsa Vikara. So classification of Arshas goes like this: Sahaja Arshas and Uttara Kalaja Arshas. Uttara Kalaja Arshas are the Arshas which developed because of abnormal food habits, abnormal activities related to squatting position or abnormal exertion uh, during defecation. So because of all these things, Arshas develops in the later part of the life. So that is called as Uttara Kalaja Arshas, whereas the primary Arshas are genetical uh, Arshas like familial polyposis, internal hematomas. So these are all can be considered as a Sahaja Arshas. While explaining the treatment of Arshas, Arshas will be classified into Ardra Arshas and Shushka Arshas. Ardra Arshas means where there is a bleeding. If it is associated with the bleeding, then the Arshas is called as Ardra Arshas. If the Arshas is not associated with bleeding, then it is called as Shushka Arshas. Shushka means literal word is dry, but here the word Shushka means devoid of bleeding. So for the description of Arshas, it is divided into Sahaja Arshas and Uttarkalaja Arshas. For the treatment of Arshas, it is divided into bleeding or non-bleeding. So Shushka Arshas, Ardra Arshas. So where these Arshas will develop, these Arshas will develop in Budasya Ardha Panchangulam Avakashi. So this is the area where the three valis are present. That is Ardha Panchangula means half of the fifth angula means 4.5 angula. This is the Guda Valaya or Guda Kshetra of Arshas. That is the Guda, which is has a length of 4.5 angula, which is again divided into three parts based on the Guda Vali. They are Pravahini, Visarjini, Samvarini. So whereas Arshas can develop other than the Guda, they are Shishnam, Apatyapatam, vaginal root, Gala, Talu, Mukha, Nasika, Karna, Akshi, Vartma, Twak, skin. So in all these places, Arshas can develop. So they are called as Adimamsa Desha. These areas are called as Adimamsa Desha. So here in this chapter, it is Arshas only limited to Gudavali Jana Arshas. So in this chapter, it is limited only to Gudavali Arshas. So this Arshas, which develops in the Gudavali, develops from three dhatu, that is Meda, Mamsa, Twak. Whereas in Sushruta, only Mamsa and Twak is considered as the Ashraya for Arshas, whereas Acharya Charaka considered Meda also. Meda, Mamsa and Twak. So next, Sahaja Arshas presentations has been mentioned. Some are very minute, some are very big, cauliflower-like. Kanichit Dirgani, some are very long, some are very short, some are spherical, some are Vishama Visrutani, irregular in shape, some are directed interiorly, some are directed externally, some are irregular in nature, some are Antarmukani. So, like this, based on different presentations, Sahajarshas may develop. So, a person associated with Sahajarshas may be associated with other genetical factors or genetical diseases also. So, these are all the presentations of Sahajarshas patient. So the Sahajarshas patient, right from his birth, he will be Atikrusha, Vivarna, Shama, very delicate or looks unhealthy. Shama means unhealthy, Dina, always associated with constipation, oliguria, etc. Associated with renal calculi, Sharkara, Ashmarin. So he will be associated with all parts of diseases or like Thaimarika may be associated with refractive errors. He may be having Alpa Shukra, Durbala Agni associated with Kasa, Shwasa, Tamaka, respiratory diseases associated with Shirashula, Karanarogi, ear diseases, swelling in the face, Shuna Panipada, Vadana Akshikuta, may be associated with Pandu, Angamarda, etc. Sarva Parvasti Shula, pain in all joints. So you name any part of the body, there will be a disease. So these are all the diseases associated with Sahaja Arshus. Parama Alasa, most lazy, lazy pro. So different types of diseases may be associated. Here Pancha Vayavaha, that is Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana. All Vyana, all Vayus are involved. Pitta, Shleshma are involved. Uh, because of all this involvement, there will be Sahajarshas, means it may be projected to all parts of the body. So that is Sahajarshas. Next is Uttara Jatasya Kalajani Arshas. So these are all the causative factors of Arshas, very detailed in nature. So not so important, we can skip it. So these are all the different shapes of the Arshas, Sarshapa, Masura, Masha, Mudga, etc. Among them, Vataja Arshas looks like Shushka, Mlana, Katina, Parusha, Ruksha, Tikshnagran, very sharp in nature, Vakrani, abnormal shape, etc. Vishama Vistrutani, irregular shape, irregular spread. These are all Vataja Arshas features. So this is Pittaja Arshas Lakshanas. Rakta, Pita, Neela, Krishna color will be there. Vistragandhi, Tanu, Pita, Rakta Sravani, always associated with bleeding. Rudira Vahani means bleeding piles. So that is the Pittaja Arshas features. Next is Kafaja Arshas. They are Slakshnani, Sparsha Sahani means you can palpate it, easily palpable, non-painful Arshas, Kafaja Arshas. stira shvayatuni. There will be slightly hard swelling. So this is Kafaja Arshas features. So these are all the Pururupa of Arshas. Vishtambo Annasya. So Anna Ahara is not digested properly. Distension of abdomen, Kuksher Atopa. Karshyam Udgara Bahulyam. Underline this one, Udgara Bahulyam. Excessive Udgara, belching, etc. Grahini Dosha, Pandu, Itarashanka, Udarasya. So these are all the other different differential diagnoses, or patient may feel that he may be suffering from these diseases. So these are all the features of Pururupa of Arshas. So these are all the factors involved in Arshas, that is Panchatma, Maruta, 5 types of Vayu, Pitta, Kapha, Gudavali, Trayam. So these are all the factors involved in the development of Arshas. So hence Arshas, because of Vayu, 5 types of Vayu, Pitta, Kapha, Gudavali, Traya are involved. So it is Bahu Vyadikarani, may be associated with many other diseases. Sarva Deha Upatapini, Pracharatamani, means right from beginning it is difficulty to treat. Arshas is never Sukhasadhya, always it is a Krutrasadhya. So Arshas can develop in other places like Haste, Pade, Mukhe, Nabhyam, etc. So according to some Arshas should be treated with Shastra, some should be treated with Daha, Kshara, etc. So that is Agni Karma, Kshara Karma, Shastra Karma. Many things are there, but all these things are associated with the complications, Sudaruna. It may affect the Pumsatva may be affecting the fertility. It may cause Shvayatu, Gude, there may be swelling, Atmanam, Daruna Shulam, Raktati Vartanam. There may be chances of excessive bleeding. So, because of all these complications associated with the treatment of Arshas, Acharya mentioned only medical treatment here. So, it should be concentrated into two parts. So, Vata Shleshmaja Arshas, which is Shushkan, means not associated with bleeding. Maybe secretions are there, but not associated with bleeding. So that is called as Shushka Arshas. Whereas Prasravini, if it is associated with bleeding, then it is called as Ardra Arshas, usually associated with Rakta and Pitta Ulbana. So Vata Kapha Ulbana, Shushka Arshas, Rakta Ulbana or Prasravini, Ardra Arshas will be associated with Rakta Pitta Ulbana. So first one is Shushka Arshas. So Shushka Arshas treatment has been mentioned. All Vata Kapha medicines, Ushnavirya medicines, Deepana, Pachana, Anulomana medicines can be given for Shushka Arshas. So many medicines have been mentioned, so we can skip it. So the point is, it should be Ushnavirya, Deepana, Pachana, Anulomana, lightly snigdha. So that is the treatment for Shushka Arshas. So even Ballataka is also utilized in case of hard piles. So one of the yoga is Takrarishta. It is for Shushkarshas, non-bleeding piles. So it is Deepanam, Rochanam, Varnyam, Kapavatanulomanam, Guda, Shwetu, Kandu, Artinashanam, Balavardhan. So this is Takrarishta, mainly for Kapavataja Arshas. So nasti takrat param kinchid aushadam kafavartake. This may be entrance point. So there is no other medicine than takra, especially to treat kaphavataja treatment, kaphavataja diseases. Especially kaphavataja arshas also or kaphavataja any disease, takra is the best treatment for kaphavataja. Nasti takrat param kinchidoshadam kaphavataja. Means there is no other medicine superior than takra in treating kaphavataja diseases, especially arshas. So next is Abhayarishta, important yoga Abhayarishta. So if you see the contents of Abhayarishta, Haritaki is Prastardam, means Ardha Prastha Haritaki should be utilized, whereas Prastham Amalakasya. Amalaka dose is one Prastha, Haritaki usage is Prastardha, that is Ardha Prastha, means Amalaki is more or double than the Haritaki, but still, as it starts from Haritaki, one of the synonym of Haritaki is Abhaya, and this medicine gives Abhaya to the patient, so hence it is called as Abhayarishta. So it can be utilized in Grahani, Pandu, Rudroga, Pleha, Gulma, Udarapaha, Kushta, Shofa, Ruchihara, Balavarna, Agnivardhana, Kamala, Shvitranashan. It is also useful for Kamala and Shvitranashan. Krumi, Granthi, Arbuda, Vyanga, Rajayakshma, Jwarantakrit. These are all the indications of Abhaya Arishta. In the same way, Danti Arishta for Kapavataja Arshas, Palarishta, Dvitiya Palarishta. So these are all the medicines for Kaphavataja Arshas, Shushka Arshas, Kanaka Arishta. So sloka number 170 from now onwards, here it is the treatment of Ardra Arshas, Stravida. So Kutajadi Rasakriya or Kutaja Arishta, this is utilized for Stravi Arshas, bleeding piles. So Rakta Arsha Atisaram Raktam Sasruju, Nihantya, that is Kutaja and the Rasakriya. Pichavasti is mentioned for bleeding piles, Pichavasti. Triveradi Grutam for bleeding piles. Sunishannaka Changeri Grutam. So this is useful even in case of prolapse of rectum, Buddha Brahmshe. So in this condition, Sunishannaka Changeri Grutam. So that is about Ardhra Arshas. Next, sloka number 244. Three diseases, Trayo Vikara Prayana Paraspara Hetava. That is, Arshas will develop Atisara, Atisara will develop Grahani, or Grahani will develop Arshas or Atisara. So like this, these three diseases, Arshas, Atisara and Grahani, they are interconnected or there may be Nidanartaka Rogas. Arshas will land up in Grani Dosha. Grani Dosha may land up in Atisara. Atisara may land up in Arshas. So, like this, three diseases are Paraspara Hetava. So, among the three main common factor is Agnibala is Hina. Agnibala is not correct. If Agnibala is maintained properly, these diseases can be controlled easily. So that is about the Arshas. So Arshas is two types based on their genetical presentation, that is Sahaja Arshas, Uttakalaja Arshas. Arshas can be treated in the lines of Shushka Arshas, Ardhra Arshas, bleeding, non-bleeding. So some of the yogas, Abhayarishta, Kanakarishta, all those things for Shushka Arshas, Changerya Devrutam, Sunishanaka Vrutam, Pichavasti. So these are all the treatment for Ardhra, bleeding Arshas. So that is the Arsha Chikitsika. In the previous chapter, Arshas, it is mentioned that Arshas, Achisara, and Grani are Paraspara Hetava. Means Arshas can lead into Grani. So hence, Grani is mentioned as a next chapter. The next chapter, Chikitsasthana, 15th chapter, this is called as Grahani Dosha Chikitsita. So all these things, Ayu, Varna, Bala, Swastya, Utsaha, Upachaya, Prabha, Oja, Teja, all these are related to Dehagni Hetuka. If Dehagni is good, all these are good. If Dehagni is Shanta, then means Agni Nasha is there, Mriyate, there is a death. If this Agni is properly manipulated or properly maintained, Chiram Jivayati Anamaya, person will live for long life without any disease. If this Agni becomes Vikrute, the person will become Rogi. So hence Agni is considered as Moolam. Agni is the basis for all this Ayu, Varna, Bala, Swastya, Utsaha, Upachaya, Prabha, Oja, Teja. So Avastapaka is mentioned. First one is Madhura Avastapaka, next is Amla Avastapaka, last one is Katu Avastapaka. Any food after intake, it may transform into three stages. That is Madhura Avastapaka stage where Fena Bhuta Kapha will become more prominent. Madhura Rasa will become more predominant in the first stage of digestion. In the second stage of digestion, Pittam Macham Mudiri, they may be related to bile secretion. So here Vidagdasya Amla Bhavata, so the fatty acids, amino acids, all will get digestion in the second stage. So that is the Amla Avastapaka. And last Avastapaka is Katu Avastapaka, especially it occurs in Pakvasha, where Shoshamanasya Varnina, Agni will do Shoshana of water, salts, minerals, etc. and the waste product will develop into paripindita pakwasya. It become a well-formed fecal matter. So that is the katu bhavata or katu avastapaka. So this stage is represented as katu avastapaka. So avastapaka stages of digestion is mentioned in this shlokas. So as the Pachakagni is there, main Agni is there in the same way, Panchamahabhutas also will have their own Agni, that is Bhoma, Apya, Agneya, Vayavya, Panchoshmana, Sa, Nabasa. Nabasa means Akasha. There are five Agni related to Panchamahabhutas also. These Agni will analyze and select the based on the Panchanam Gunan, Swan, Parthivadin Pachati. Means Parthivagni will collect, digest the Parthiva Amsha Dravya. Apagni will collect, assess, digest the Ap Dhatu or Ap related Padarthas. So, like this, these are all Pancha Mahabhuta Agnis, which is related to their specific digestion and transformation. So, Pancha Mahabhuta Agnis. In the same way, Dhatus will also have their Agnis, Saptavir Deha Dhataru. So Dhatus will have their Dhatu Agnis, so which will result in Kitta Prasada. Essential materials and waste products or byproducts are developed, generated because of the Dhatu Agni Vyapara. There is one more principle, that is Shiradadinyaya, that is Rasa Raktam, means some part of Rasa will be converted into Rakta by the Rakta Dhatu Agni. Some part of Rakta will be converted into Mamsa by Mamsa Dhatu. So like this, Shukrat, Garbha Prasad means these are all the seven Dhatu Agnis are also there, which will result in proper formation of particular specific Dhatus. So Dhatu Agnis, Bhutagnis, and five Agni or Pitta. Then some Upadatus are also mentioned, Rasat, Stanyam, Tato, Raktam, whereas Asruja, from Asruja, Kandara, Siras are developed. Mamsat, Vasa is developed. Six, Twacha is developed. From Medasa, Snayu Sambhava. These are all the Upadatus formation because of the main dhatu. Then Mala of Anna is wind, Mutra. Mala of Rasa is Kapha. Mala of Asruja, Rakta is Pitta. Mamsasya Malas are Kamala. Medasya Mala is Sveda. Asti Mala is Kesha Loma. Majja Mala is Neha Akshi Tvacham. There is a description of general circulation. Vyanena Rasadaturhi Vikshopachita Karmana. Vyanavayu results in circulations. So next, Dushta Agni is mentioned. How Agni becomes Dushta because of various reasons. Not taking food, Abhojanat or Atibhojanat, excessive intake of food, Vishamashanat, Asatnyashanat, Guru Shita, Ruksha, Sandushta Bhojanat. So this all because of the reasons Agni will become Dushti. See, this Dushta Agni is not capable to digest the food, even if it is minimal food. This undigested food will transform into petrification or shuktatvam, acidification, fermentation. Shuktatvam, Visharupatam. It will develop into Ama Visha or Visha. So abnormal digestion or indigestion will result in Shuktatva. Shuktatva will result in Visharupatva. So this Vishtamba or undigested food is again four types: Vishtabda Jirna, Vishtamba Jirna. So it is related to Vata. It is associated with Shiroruk, Murcha, Brahma, Prustakatigraha, etc. If it is Pitta associated Ajirna, it will be Vidagda Ajirna, it will be associated with Daha, Trishna, Mukamayan, etc. Whereas Kapha associated Ajirna will result in Yakshma, Pinasa, Meha, etc. So when this Agni becomes irregular, Agni becomes Dushti regularly, and finally it is called as Grahani Gada. So the repeated formation of Ajirna, repeated Agni Dushti is called as Grahani Gada. So if the doshas are moving downwards, then it is called as Grahani Gada or Adogata Grahani or Grahani. Whereas if it moves upwards, then it is called as Amla Pitta. So what are the features of Grahani is Lohama Gandhi, Tiktamla, Udgara, Asti Parvaruk, painful joints, etc. Shuna Padakara, swelling in the body. So these are all the features of Grahani Gada. So what is the Pururupa of Grahani Gada is Trishna, Alasya, Balakshaya, Vidahi Anna. So there is a description of Grani where it is present. It is Grani is Agni Adhisthana. Annasya Grahanat. As it holds the Anna for some time and then digests. Hence it is called as holding nature is called as Grahani. Grahana or Grahani. Indigested, undigested material will be held back. So apakvam dharayati. When properly digested, it will be propelled further. So pakvam srujati parshvata. If pakwa are not digested, amameva vimunchati. So after some time, only ama will be evacuated. So this is the exact picture of Grani. So Grani rogas are three types: Vataja, Pittaja, Kaphaja Granis. So Vataja Grani is caused because of Vata Prakopa Ahara Viharas. So because of the Vata Dushta Agni, the Ahara is not digested properly and it will develop into Shukta Pakam, that is fermentation, Karangata. Body becomes Karangata. Shukta Pakam Karangata is seen in dash grad, Vataja grad, associated with the dehydration, etc. So associated with the pain, Parshva, Ruk, Uru, Vankshana, Griva, Abhikshana. Pain in these places may be associated with Visuchika, Prutpida, Karshya, Daurpalyam, Parikartika, there may be fissure, Gruddhihi Sarvarasanam. There is a desire to take all types of rasa. This is the most frequently asked question. FAQ. Gruddhihi Sarvarasanam is seen in dash grani, Vataja grani. Patient may feel, or even doctor may feel, it may be a Vata Gulma or Vataja Rudroga, Pliha Shanki, etc. So that is the Vataja grani. Next is Pittaja grani. Because of intake of Katu, Ajirna, Vidahi, Amla, Ksharadhi, the person becomes Pitaba, Nilaba, etc. Saryati Draun, there may be loose stools. Puti, Amla, Udgara, Hrutkantada, Aruchi. So these are all the features of Pittaja Grahani. Next, Kafaja Grani. Hrudayam Manyate Styanam. As if the heart is covered with wet cloth. Hrudayam Manyate Styanam. Udaram Stimitam. Udara is also Stimita Lakshana. So that is the Kafaja Grani features. Next, important Grutas are mentioned in Grani for Snehapana. Dashamuladya Grutam. Just remember the Grutas. Trayushanadya Grutam. Panchamuladya Grutam. Chitrakadi Gutika. This is important. The yogas Chitrakadi Gutika. So these are all the different yogas for Grani. Marichadya Churnam. This is also very important. One more Takrarishta is mentioned. One Takrarishta is mentioned in Arshas chapter, one in Grahani. So this Takrarishta also does Deepanam, Shota, Gulma, Arsha, Krimi, Meha, Udarapa. Indication of Takrarishta. Chandanadya Grutam, this is especially for Pittaja Grahani. Nagaradya Churnam, this is also for Pittaja Grahani. Bunimbadya Churnam. Kiratadya Churnam. Bunimbadya Churnam, Kiratadya Churnam, usually now also it is utilized for viral fevers, hepatic infection, hepatitis, etc. Kiratadya Churnam, Bunimbadya Churnam. So next, Madhu Kasava, useful in Kushta, Kilasa, Pramehan. Next is Durala Basava. It is also useful in Rakta Pitta Kafapaha. Durala Basava. Moolasava, Pindasava. So all these are Adhikaras. Madhvarishta. Ballataka in the form of Kshara is mentioned. Ballataka Kshara is mentioned for Kafaja Grani. Shara Gutika is mentioned for Kafaja Grani. One more Kshara, Panchama Kshara is also mentioned for Trifla Kafaja Grani. So that is about the Grahani chapter.